Berserk 1997, Episode 17. Finally, the war is over, and now the Band of the Hawks are ready to celebrate. Okay, I wanted to say this episode feels quite a bit shorter than the rest of them. This is mostly because of the huge recap in the beginning, which does make some perfect sense. This is one of their biggest battles the Band of the Hawks have had so far. Now, let's get on to the victory. We get to see as the Band of the Hawks are riding back into town after winning this huge war. Everyone is celebrating, everyone is cheering. After such a big victory, they're being treated like they're heroes riding back in, and it's just really crazy. Now, our usual suspects, they're acting pretty nonchalant, but there is something that I kind of want to note here. We get to see as the princess tries to get Greth's attention. However, he doesn't even notice her, and she's kind of spoon-fed this idea. Oh, it's just so noisy. There's no way he could hear you. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, this is Griffith. He literally knows everything. And then that's whenever we kind of see something that could be why he wasn't paying attention. Something so subtle, but it's quite noticeable. We get to see as Foz gets this random note or letter, and it has this seal on it, which is very familiar to Griffith's, and his whole face just changes even with this plan in place. So it kind of has me thinking maybe that's who Griffith was paying attention to this whole time during that. Something I can confirm is the fact who that female was at the end of the last episode, where she's like, hey, I got it in my hands. It seems to be the queen, which I should have known, but it definitely seems like her, even the way she was talking later in the episode. Now we get to the banquet portion of this episode. So the soldiers are all dressed up, including Casca in a dress, surprisingly. At the same time, you have like all these nobles trying to hit on him, even Casca with the males. We kind of get that moment we've been looking for. Casca kind of drags Guts off, and they go and kind of have this talk. She was kind of just being bothered by those dudes, and she kind of just wanted to find a way to step away. Now, Guts does tell Casca she looks good, but at the same time, he still tries to help her get closer to Griffith. Even though at this point, it's very noticeable that these two are in love, it's just they're not quite able to tell each other how they feel, and I still feel like they somewhat are trying to understand things, but you can tell Guts is starting to understand it, and Casca is kind of in this weird phase where she thinks she loves Griffith, but Guts has shown up to be what she wants in a sense. Something else that we can note here is again, Guts leaving the Band of the Hawks is brought up by Casca. Now their conversation ends up getting cut short again, this time with a toast by the king. This part feels like it's been pretty apparent, but the nobles all hate these Band of the Hawks, especially Griffith and even these commanders, because they are just normal commoners getting ready to get as full-fledged knighthood. We now move on to what is to be the setup of the end of this episode. Boz is talking to some noblemen where they're going on about how Griffith is about to be assassinated, and he is still acting very funny after whatever he read earlier. As we see him a bit worried, this is where we get to see the poison hit in some sort of liquid, and wine is being served out. Everyone gets a goblet of it, including Griffith, and Casca's kind of heading the way of Griffith as he takes a sip, and he drops just straight chills in this ending. There is something I forgot to talk about, so during Casca and Guts' little conversation, we do get to overhear Guts talking about his reasoning of even coming here at this party, and it seems to be maybe this note is connected to all this and the reason why he even came in the first place, which could make for a very crazy next episode. With all of that, I rate this episode a 9.4. I'm gonna have to save it for this next episode because I expect something pretty wild to happen. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on Berserk 1997, episode 17. Hope you guys stay safe, and until next time, peace out, guys.